Losing sucks. I'm sure all of you can agree. And so far, the month of September has been pretty rough for those who have been bullish on the markets, like myself. But I have reason to believe that things will be looking up significantly for the bulls come the month of October. And I want to share a few reasons why. I'm Royce Jacob, and welcome back to Waves Capital. Hope you guys like that new intro. So, first things first, I want to read over the newsletter that I just sent out this morning. It's Friday. It's the end of a week, a rough week at that. And the reason I want to do this is because I pretty much just summarized all of my thoughts and really a lot of my feelings in trading through these tough times. Okay, so there is some trader tips in here. There's some emotional tips in here, but there's also some tangible things in here. Some kind of, I wouldn't say under the radar, but some specific metrics in here that you don't see everywhere, but I do put a lot of weight on. Okay, so we'll be talking fear and greed. We'll be talking how I'm sharking up some call options. We'll be talking the best and worst months for stocks. I actually just posted a video about this not too long ago. So we're just going to be quickly referencing this today. Go check out that previous video if you guys want a more in-depth version of this and covering the best months to buy crypto as well. But I want to take a look at the fear and greed index. Want to take a look briefly, once again, at the best and worst months to buy stocks, prioritizing the best months because October is one of them. And lastly, I want to take a look at the charts. A few major indexes, however you want to say it, S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, ARK Innovation ETF. And then just for fun, we'll close it out by taking a look at Bitcoin. And I want to give you guys kind of my bull scenario as far as the next couple of weeks are concerned. So a little focus on the short term at the end. That's the video, you guys. Before we do get into it, let me know. Have you been sharking up calls? Have you been sharking up stocks if you're a longer term investor? And if so, let me know in the comments what you've been buying because I'm genuinely curious. Okay, let's get to reading. Don't need to read the top. I'm sure you guys had. if you're bullish on the market, it's been a rough week, so don't need to rehash that. It sucks to have a week that virtually destroys your portfolio following a period where everything seems so promising, like it was just a couple of weeks ago. And that's the nature of the game. But it's critical to experience events like these if you want longevity in this game. Everyone needs to get punched in the face at least once. I have a pair of boxing gloves right here just to remind me of that. Okay, that's not actually why I have them there, but that perfectly came in handy for this, for the purposes of this video. So again, everyone needs to get punched in the face at least once. Obviously, that's figuratively speaking. It's probably good to get physically punched in the face. If you haven't gotten punched in the face, those of you who have gotten punched in the face before understand the importance of actually literally getting punched in the face. But in this case, it's figurative, of course. So I've been here before and I'll likely be here many times again. We're playing the markets and things can turn on a dime. Ever-present uncertainties in the nature of the sport, and it's important to understand that risk. Okay? So again, you guys, these are the markets. This is an abstract game, and curveballs can come. But home runs can come as well, and it's important to always shoot for those home runs. Oh, that's very obvious, but it's important to think that way. Have that, just get back on your horse mentality, right? So weeks like these aren't fun, but I can say with confidence that they make you a stronger trader and or investor, depending upon what you are. Hardship builds character, and emotional resilience is key in this game. The less emotional you are, the better you'll perform. Callous your emotion. In the markets, of course, definitely practice emotion outside of trading. Okay, so again, figuratively speaking, callous your emotion. Be rational, think rationally, be cool, level-headed. Fearful when greedy, greedy when fearful. The markets are objectively fearful as of today, and technicals across the board are flashing oversold signals that will make sense as we dive into the charts. I'm hopeful that the bulls can make a comeback into the historically bullish month of October, but if not, I can say with a high level of certainty that at the very least, we'll see a short-term relief rally in the week ahead. I deployed a few $1,000s of dry powder yesterday, and I've done so once again today. So money where my mouth is, you guys. I could be wrong. Keep in mind, I could always be wrong. This is only my opinion. But I smell blood in the water. You guys know the drill. When there's blood in the water, that's the time to strike. Okay, so frenzied up a few calls. As always, if you want to know the specifics of those calls, which if I scroll down, you can see the entire options portfolio, which I do include in the newsletters every day. If you want to know how I'm trading my personal portfolio, the Waves Cap portfolio on a day-to-day basis, and you want these daily newsletters that I just read through, then that's the first link in the description. It's right under the like button. My complete portfolio daily newsletter. You get everything that this box entails, and I'll let you choose which of these pricing plans that you want if you want to sign up. If so, welcome to the team. I look forward to having you guys, but if not, no worries at all. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Okay, so that's pretty much everything here, you guys. Again, we'll just expand from here. The fear and greed, as you can see here, a couple of hours before the market closed was at 40, and the market's really, it's a Friday, it makes sense. It's a rough week. Really just snowballed into deeper levels of fear, which is really what I want to see. Because again, in the words of the wise Oracle of Omaha, let me know in the comments who that is. Be greedy when they're fearful, and be fearful when they're greedy. This is a great, again, this is only discussing the S&P 500, but the SPY, the S&P 500, is the benchmark index for U.S. equities. Therefore, when investors, traders, whatever people are feeling fearful about the S&P 500, then that pretty much just means that the majority of assets that, we trade around here, I trade definitely more growth-focused assets, risk assets, are just going to be an amplified version of that. So risk assets are probably in extreme fear, and, that's no good. You never want to be on either end of the spectrum. You want to be at neutrality. Most of the time, it's okay to obviously it's good, and it's natural to fluctuate through this scale. That's everything ebbs and flows. That's in the nature of not just the markets, but life, everything. Not to get all woo-woo here, but again, fear is typically a good time to buy, and greed is typically a good time to sell. That doesn't always apply. Again, we could go into extreme fear, we could go into extreme greed, but just speaking very generally, if you're buying for the long term, it's typically good to buy in times of fear. And that segues as well into the best months of the year. So let's just take a look here at the 3 best months. You get April, July, November are pretty constants. And then October and November for the NASDAQ, which again is tech heavy. It's more growth heavy, which is what I focus on primarily in my portfolio. October falls into that category as well. Okay. And that's what you'd like to see. It's the holiday season. It's the fall season. I said this when I was talking about Bitcoin in my second newsletter today. Everybody likes the fall. People are happier during the fall season. The holidays are coming up. The new iPhones just released. Apple just released their suite of new products. Everyone loves that. And again, everyone's feeling more festive. I love the fall. The fall winter season is my favorite by far. And when people are happier, they spend more money and they deploy more capital. That's why October, November, prior to everyone taking some gains for their Christmas presents, are the best months. And September is the worst months most of the time, especially for the NASDAQ. Worst month is September. So we're coming out of September. We're heading into the fall season. We're heading from the worst month to the best month. And for that simple reason, I'm bullish on the markets. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does tend to rhyme. Let's close the video out by taking a look at the S&P 500, NASDAQ, ARK, and BTC on the charts real quick. S&P, prior resistance becomes new support. That is coming perfectly into play right here. Give or take a little bit, you could say that's a more conservative line of resistance, right? Or a previous resistance right here that was broken, and then now it's coming into play as new support. Regardless, we're pretty damn close. This is technically using the tops of the candle wicks here. This is the technical line of resistance that was broken. We saw a little rally, created a new line of resistance on what I'd say is like a descending channel. So you could say if we bottom out here, this would be the descending channel. This would be the top line of resistance on that descending channel. Line of support, of course. But this is a very strong trend line. If you don't believe in trend lines, you simply haven't been trading or looking at charts for long enough. I do think this will act as a line of support, an area of support. As far as 4-hour RSI and stochastic RSI go, 4-hour RSI is extremely low right now. It's pretty damn rare. You can see here the only time in the past, so far in 2023, when 4-hour RSI has been as low as it has been, was back in just a month or just in August. So back in August, just over a month ago, was the last time 4-hour RSI was this low. And look what happened. We bounced significantly. So I do think that the markets are new all-time highs coming this year. I don't know. I can't say that. I don't even, not logically. I can't logically say that. But is it likely that we create a little sideways, slightly descending channel and bounce through that channel through these times of uncertainty? I think that's pretty likely. And I do think a bounce is coming for the SPY. Again, SPY is the benchmark ETF for the greater markets. The NASDAQ is the benchmark ETF for US tech stocks. And right now, we've perfectly tested, closed directly on top of the line of resistance that's been in the line of support. This is a macro line of support on this massive 2023 ascending channel right here, top line of resistance on this channel. I'd consider that. You know, I like to keep it conservative. I consider that the top line of resistance right there using multiple touch points. Line of support clear here, closed directly on top of it. 4-hour RSI, once again, at the lowest level it's seen since August and only twice over the course of 2023 so far. So I think a bounce is in the cards. And, ultimately I'm bullish the markets, just everything considered. I think 2024 is going to be amazing, and I think people know that, and they're going to get in on it in the next couple of months, the closing months of this year. Okay, so ARK ETF, another scenario here. This actually played out. I talked about this in my newsletter back in like early September, late August, that there was the potential in the ARK Innovation ETF, which is a hyper growth ETF, of a macro head and shoulders pattern. See, shoulder, it's a little janky, but the psychology still panned out. Shoulder here, head came down to that same parallel level as the first shoulder, creating that second shoulder. And right now we're coming to the base of what, I mean, you could say, I guess, you could say this is the base of the shoulder, so maybe we do come down to $35-36. I do think that's the bear case. I'm an optimistic guy. I'm sure you guys can catch on to that. I don't think that's going to happen. I do believe that we probably bottom out around here. Again, levels that are, we're currently at RSI. I'll show you guys the actual level on RSI. We're below a 20. We're like 18, 19 on 4-hour RSI. Once again, that's extremely, extremely oversold as far as shorter term metrics are concerned. I feel like 4-hour candles are the best for those shorter term metrics. I do think that a bounce is likely. I think a bounce is incredibly likely. I'd put the odds at like 85-15 that growth stocks and smaller caps bounce in the week ahead due to their oversold nature. And of course, growth stocks correlate very, very closely, especially ARK to Bitcoin, considering ARK holds a lot of Coinbase. So Bitcoin, again, in a very, very clear downtrend. Bitcoin has been held below the stubborn line of resistance, which it just tested a couple of days ago, since July. So really in a strong summer downtrend. But I do think that a break is coming. I do think that once this line of medium term, longer term resistance, summer resistance, we'll call it, is broken, this orange line right here. So just say at this point, conservatively, if we see 27.5, that will constitute a break and closure above this line of resistance. If that happens, I do think that this previous line of support will come into play, and the previous line of shorter term support, this green line right here, intersects with the line of resistance on that shorter term ascending channel on October 1st, October 2nd. So I'll just say, optimistic take, I think Bitcoin can climb 10% over the next week or two, and see 29,000, maybe even higher come the first week of October. So we'll call it there, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Again, let me know in the comments what you've been sharking up, what you've been buying on this dip, and let me know as well if you end up joining. So once again, welcome to the winning team. If you do, I look forward to seeing you guys and trading with you through this new month of October. And until next time, guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.